and Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. GT Car and his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Also brought to you by Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. The Oxyoke Inn in the Amanas. Streets Maintenance, Remodeling, and Plumbing. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here is chowing down on cheese curls.
Yes.
Is Tom Suter, along with Pat Harty from HogFanatic.com.
The faux Cheetos are delicious.
Yeah,
they really are.
Yeah. I told you.
Well, you were not exaggerating. They're excellent.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're quite Cheetos territory, but they're. I would never turn these down.
No, they're very crunchy.
They are.
You want to try some, Pat?
No, thank you.
I've had my hand in the bag.
Tom
put his hand in the bag.
Sure he did. That's part of the reason I'm just not a Cheetos guy at 9 in the morning. I don't mind them.
That's silly.
Uh-huh.
They go anytime.
They do.
Yeah,
as long as they're the fried ones and not those.
Oh, not the puffs.
Pussy puffs.
Yeah.
I don't have to live by your guys' rules.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Yeah, I think you should. You should.
Yeah. Look what it got you. No, I like Cheetos. Just.
Well, these are faux Cheetos. Who is it? Clancy. He can't even sing.
Aldi Cheetos.
I mean, we're supposed to have an Iowa baseball player on. God, great timing after they lose to
the Leathernecks.
11-17 Western Illinois team, I believe their record was.
Well, we'd been playing so well. It's, I guess it was to be expected, I suppose.
Well, I guess that's one
one
way to look at it. I mean, baseball's a weird sport.
It is.
I mean, this wouldn't happen in football or basketball. If a really bad Western Illinois. And I don't know if this is a really bad. I want to see what their record was first, but still,
I thought it was just like you said.
Western Illinois is not going to beat Iowa in football or basketball, but and that's no knock on baseball. Baseball's just a different sport.
It is.
It takes. I mean, Iowa didn't hit very well. I mean, they struggled to score runs. They did get two later, but it takes one pitcher to have some good stuff going, and that's. I was not at the game last night. It was a 6:00 start, so it didn't get over till late, and. It was, I mean, these losses, now there's people on, we're done. There's no way we make the tournament now. I mean, if they sweep Oregon and, you can't just overreact to everything. It's a bad loss, yes.
It wasn't good.
And they had one other midweek loss. Was it to Illinois, Chicago, I think it was?
Well, I think you're right.
They had one other one. Yeah, the midweek losses hurt. They don't help when you win much, but they hurt when you lose them. And I did not see this one coming. And great timing. I write a notebook column yesterday kind of praising baseball and softball for how good of seasons they're having. Wrote that both, the softball teams won 7 conference games in a row. Baseball's won all 7 of their series. I posted yesterday, then they go out and lose to Western Illinois.
Well,
I did not see it coming.
It doesn't lessen your column. I mean,
no, but
what
still,
you said in your column is still accurate.
But I remember saying to myself, I'm writing it, I'm like, you watch, they're going to lose this game tonight because baseball's such a weird sport. I mean, it's so sensitive. I mean, just little things can change the outcome of a game where, like I said, football, Iowa plays Western Illinois. It's obviously not even close. And now when Don was coaching Western Illinois, it would have been at least competitive.
Uh-huh.
But no, I did not see that one coming. Now they play St. Thomas tonight, weather permitting, but I was told there's no way they're going to get last night's game in. And somehow they got it in.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Well, yeah, it's almost like you wish the weather forecast. And then tonight, isn't there more chance of rain?
Yeah, storms.
Just like last night, storms. There's no way they're going to play.
Yeah.
They can't.
So this is the Tommies we play?
St. Thomas, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Their record's better than Western Illinois, but I don't know how that reflects on their schedule or what have you. But no, they got to bounce back and win. So yeah, Daniel Rogers is supposed to be calling it, but I don't have the time yet or his number. So this could be interesting. And I haven't heard from Iowa. If anyone's listening over there, just I mean, obviously they know the number to have these guys call in because we call some, and some
Yeah.
of them call us too, so it goes both ways. So we'll see. I just wish the timing was a little better. It's bad losing under any
Well, it
circumstance,
is
but
too
to
bad,
lose a
but-
game that you really had no business losing. And obviously free bases, walks were a problem. They haven't been much of a problem this year. But, man, that is one way to help the other team, even if they're inferior to you. If you allow free bases in baseball, obviously, that helps to narrow the gap.
Hello.
Hello. The Western's thing was 11-28. Now it's 12-28. And we, of course, didn't have our best pitchers out there.
Well, they never do for midweek games.
No.
And we don't have the best pitchers out there for that. We also didn't have all of our starting lineup out there, but we tried to move them in towards the end to get some runs.
Yeah, no, it's
Sounds like a lot of excuses, Kern.
yeah.
Yeah, well, there are.
Kern driving the excuse
But I
train.
know they were disgusted.
Well, they never use
disappointed.
their top pitchers in midweek games.
No.
That's why they play teams like, no disrespect, but like teams like Western Illinois. You
And then
use your
it's,
fourth and fifth pitchers.
And it was Illinois State, the other team they lost.
That's
to.
who they lost to, okay. And they play St. Thomas, and I still think they have a game
And they're
against Illinois
supposed to be
Chicago.
better than Western Illinois.
So we'll see.
And Western Illinois was very thrilled.
Oh, I'm sure they were. That's a huge win for them,
Yeah.
especially at 11-28.
And my sub pumps last night died, and I had water in the basement.
Ooh.
And I've been up all night long trying to get that taken care of, and I'm ready to scream.
That's no fun.
No. Okay, boys. Well, I'm going to go to church. I need
All right.
to.
All right.
All right, good luck.
Okay, we'll see you. Bye.
Yeah, sump pump failure
I haven't
is
heard
not
mine,
a good thing.
I have not heard mine run once, but I went down and checked my basement last year. I just do that period, and I didn't see any water.
Yeah, we're at
But
one of the-
I'm up. I'm up on a.
We're at one of the highest points in
Yeah,
Iowa City,
yeah.
so we're not going to have any. of
Ours
Because
that.
mine goes up in front, and then it goes down, and I'm on top of it like a little butte.
Ours was running, not greatly or anything, but it was running. But we've got a thing on the sub pump that if the power goes out, then water will run it.
Oh,
Then
that keeps running.
somehow, yeah.
But yeah,
Keeps
but
running
I've
even with the power.
my sump pump has never had to work very much. Even in all these years I've lived there, I've heard it go on some. It's got that kind of that moaning, groaning sound to it when you hear it come on. But like I haven't heard it yet. But the times where it's had, I mean, we've had a lot of rain recently, but we haven't had a lot of rain over an extended period.
Right.
But that's when my sump pump started. Like God, what was it? 2008.
Yuck.
When it rained like it has the last 2 days for like 3 weeks, didn't it?
Was the 2008 was a flood.
Huge flood.
Well, was it bigger than 93's flood? I remember 93.
Yeah,
I
yes.
I just moved up here in 93, I remember driving home to Des Moines and driving down Interstate 80, and it looked like I was driving right through the middle of a lake because all the cornfields were underwater.
Here you couldn't even. I mean,
You
seriously.
couldn't cross the Burlington Street Bridge in 08. I remember that.
Yeah, well,
It was closed.
Andy, to get to where he had to go to Burlington, he left Davenport and had to drive up to near Dubuque.
Yeah, I remember that.
And go
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And, it was.
But yeah, we got this. This is nothing like.
No.
We're not even. We needed rain, but
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
the drought. I assume is over.
I would think so.
But I mean, I can't believe how green everything is in my neighborhood right now. And then 3 months, it'll look like hay. That's usually what happens. God, to think we're almost into May.
I know.
This time of year goes so fast. Really does. We got the spring open practice. Are you going Saturday?
I think so.
Spring open practice on Saturday. Coordinators today. I'm not sure if I'm.
Saturday is supposed to be pretty decent.
Yeah, it's 60s and no rain, right?
Yeah.
How about Friday night for the first game of the?
Friday night's fine.
Okay, and then Saturday and Sunday no rain, so they're going to get the baseball.
Sunday night and Monday and Tuesday rain.
But nothing.
Storms.
So it looks like they're going to be able to get the series in with Indiana.
Well,
Hopefully.
if this holds.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But it was supposed to rain last night. They had no issues with the weather last night. It was actually pretty nice out.
Actually, it was.
Yeah. But all day long, the forecast said rain, 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 rain.
Weather
Scattered
alarmists.
thunder showers.
Weather alarmists.
Weather alarmists. Yep. That's what he coined you. I just agreed with it. I just agreed. Weather alarmist for self-serving purposes. And you know it's true. That's why you're not fighting back.
Well, that's why he and Mace get along so well.
Yep.
Steve's
Scare the masses.
background.
Scare the masses so they depend on you.
Jesus.
Don't you agree, Suter?
Sure.
They depend on us because we're it.
There you go.
Basically.
But, yeah, no, like I said, I was just very surprised they lost that game. Now, softball plays Drake. And it's funny, as softball, they're on their roll, but they lost at Iowa State last week.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get a win. I looked at Drake's record. They're not by any means great, but Drake is fully capable of beating Iowa softball if they don't play well. And chances are they will. I think both games. I'm not sure what time softball starts. Do you know?
Is it tonight, you mean?
I thought it was tonight. But
5.
So you're going to have and is it here?
Yeah.
So you're going to have softball and baseball going on at the same time. I know that happens
Yeah.
some.
We play the Tommies first pitch scheduled at 6, it looks like. The Tommies.
Oh, softball.
No, that's baseball.
Yeah,
St.
baseball's
Thomas.
6 against St.
Yeah.
Thomas.
5
Softball is
is
5 against
Yep.
Drake. So, assuming they can get them in, and both teams need to win. The Iowa baseball team needs to win as many games as they can. Obviously, because like I said, they've still got the part of the schedule that's going to really make or break and define this team. I mean, if they end up getting swept by, let's say they lose 5 out of 6 to Oregon and Oregon State, that's going to be a real deflator.
Well, it'll certainly knock them out of first place.
Well, knock them out of
for
first
sure.
place, and I still think they're on course to make the NCAA tournament. Barring now, let's say they lose 8 out of the last 9 Big Ten games, yeah, that's going to be. I don't see that happening though, and I don't think yesterday was like some red flag because, like Karn brought up, they don't use their best pitchers. But still, they used good enough pitchers. They should have won this game. That's not an excuse. Suter shot Karn down right away. No, you're not going there. You're not going there, Karn.
I dropped your name last night.
What do you mean dropped it? Where?
Sam's Pizza. I called up Sam's Pizza and ordered a pizza.
Yeah?
I said, yeah, Pat Harty on the radio recommended you. And the guy goes,
Who the hell's that?
he goes, okay.
Yeah, those. What time did you call?
About 6.
Okay, well, that's still early, but by 8 o'clock, that guy's defeated. He's been taking calls all night. He wants to leave.
God, that was a good pizza.
It is good pizza.
Oh, it's good pizza.
Oh.
What kind you get?
Well, because Jan's dietary, I just got like beef and mushroom.
But you got the thin crust, right?
Yeah.
Well, just the regular. Yeah, no, it's great.
yeah.
And their delivery's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They said 45 to 50 minutes. They
Was
were
it a
there
big
in
husky
30
guy?
minutes.
Was it a big husky guy?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Driving a black Denali?
Well, I didn't notice that.
Okay, but yeah, he's.
Did you get the license number?
No.
But no, I ordered there enough to where I know the guy. I mean, when I see him, but no, they're delivering, and it's their people that deliver.
Yeah, and it's really good. It
for
was
sure.
really good. So,
Of course, I
ate too much of it.
I have a great pizza place a half block from
You
my
do,
house.
and they're comparable. I think
They
they're
are.
both comparable. They're a little different. But Sam's is so easy to do that, though, because those squares, you can eat some of those in 2 or 3
Well,
bites.
yeah, that's yeah.
And it's thin.
But you got.
You're not eating as much as you think.
I ordered a medium. And,
That's a
and I
14-inch.
said to him, usually mediums are like 12. But this.
They have 10, 12, 14, and 16.
No, this was a big pizza.
Yeah, there's only
And
one.
yeah.
But yeah, and they cut them in the triangles on and then the squares.
Yeah.
And they're, man, if you're hungry, I mean, I can.
Oh, no, you can do a square in one bite if
A
you really
Sam's
want
pizza.
to.
If you're, I mean, when I'm hungry, I can easily eat a Sam's 12-inch by myself. 14, that's good, but a 12-inch easily. A 10-inch, no problem at all.
Jan had a slice, and Janice, her sister, is in town. She had a couple like maybe 3 slices or something.
And you ate the rest?
You're damn right.
There you go.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a decent amount. That's still not a ton of food. I mean, because like I said, it's not. It's what I like about it is it's not over doughy. I hate pizza that has a ton of dough.
Too much dough.
I just don't like a ton of dough.
Yeah. No, it was delicious.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. So, all right, now I'm hungry.
Want
I got a $1 hash brown.
Want some cheese curls?
I need some
I
more.
got a $1 hash brown from a business. I'm not going to name the name because, and man, it was. I was thinking, man, what a deal. But it was maybe not worth it. I couldn't eat. I threw the rest of it out in your field and let the animals eat it. It was not good.
Why was it not done? Or?
It was goo. It didn't seem done, and it just. I mean, McDonald's charges $2.59 for their hash brown patty, which is a lot, but I mean, it at least is edible. This thing was not good, and like I said,
Was it a gas station one?
Yeah, it's feeding the wilderness now.
Yeah.
Would Wapsie have eaten it?
Oh yeah.
She doesn't have. Does she select on anything? Does she eat olives?
No, I don't think so. She doesn't like vegetables.
Okay, she's like a kid.
Very much so.
I gotta go get some other treats.
I mean, I've got a funny story, and I told this one. I'm going to pull a Captain Steve and tell it again. This dog, we used to have this dog named Lolo years ago. It was my buddy's dog, but I was really close to it. That's back when I was still living in Des Moines, and then I just moved here. But this dog would eat anything, and we'd throw it. What we used to love to do is have treats, or have like a piece of steak, and then a dog treat, and you'd throw it, and it'd catch it. You'd have it maybe sitting like 10 feet from you. You'd throw it up in the air and it'd catch it, and then you'd throw a dog treat. But then you'd try to squeeze either a black or a green olive in there, and it would catch it. Then all of a sudden you'd see it just drop right out of its mouth. And you'd do it again, and then go through the whole sequence, and you'd do it. It never, ever swallowed it. Every time it would just politely drop it out of its mouth and say, no, we ain't going there. And that's fun. That's fun to do, especially if you're drunk. You know, no, we're talking. I was in my 20s and early 30s then, but I remember doing that though, drunk.
Sure,
sure you were. Yeah. And it never, ever, ever ate one olive. And see, I don't like olives either, so we kind of bonded on that.
I don't mind olives.
Ooh.
They're salty.
Yeah,
I don't love the texture. I'll give you that.
Olives are scary,
but they're salty.
Raisins. Ooh, raisins.
I
I can
like
eat a raisin in a
raisins.
cookie.
Yeah.
But raisins by themselves are.
I'm not that crazy about raisins and cookies. But
I don't mind them in cookies
I'll eat
if the
raisins.
dough's good enough, but I don't like raisins. Oh,
Wow.
Raisins, olives, sour cream are probably the triumvirate of
Sour
evil.
cream is nasty.
I don't have a problem with
Under
sour
any
cream.
circumstance, sour cream is bad.
I concur.
Any circumstance. Name one where it's not.
Taco Bell.
Why would you ruin a taco?
Oh my God, no!
Why would you ruin a taco by pouring a bunch
that
of
was
sour
god-awful.
First, it
crap
doesn't
on
have it doesn't have a ton of it in it. It's just
Steve, I took one bite of that,
And that's all you taste.
I have never thrown food away, and I threw that straight in the trash.
It's funny you say that. The only time I think I've thrown food away besides that hash brown was I ordered something from Taco Bell, I think, and it was a Supreme, and I didn't realize Supreme means everything. And when I got home, it was drenched, and so I threw it away.
Oh, it was
drenched inside.
the nastiest thing I've ever tasted.
I don't know how people do it.
okay. So the only food we've agreed on so far,
Pizza.
is pizza and these cheese curls.
Cheese
Well,
curls.
I'm not a part of that because I'm not participating.
Cheese curls are excellent.
I mean, I like cheese puffs and Cheetos. Yes, I can.
I don't like the puffs.
I like the puffs. They're easier. They're less strain on the top of your mouth than Cheetos are. Cheetos are like eating Captain Crunch. They and I like Captain Crunch too.
Captain Crunch is bad on your mouth.
It is. It wrecks the top of it. So do
Sticks
Cheetos
in
though.
your
If you,
teeth.
yeah, it's
Now they're taking the colors like it's going to make a difference.
dye. They're getting rid of the dye. They're saving America.
But they've already. I
Colors out of what?
Jelly beans and sour candy
and Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops and stuff. Because
in Europe, they've never been able to put that kind of dye in it, the petroleum-based dye.
well, nobody's going to eat Fruit Loops anymore if they're not colored.
They're colored. I've had them in Germany, and they taste like Fruit Loops, and they look like Fruit Loops. I didn't notice the difference.
But they don't
Maybe
have dye
they're
in
a
them.
little duller in color, but that's my brain telling me.
But I mean,
that
what
there's
is
a
the dye
difference.
doing to us? How's it killing us?
Well, we don't know.
We're just taking his word for it.
Well, and Europe's. I mean,
but I thought we
Europe
don't like
got
it.
rid of it a long time.
I thought we don't like Europe anymore.
Who knows? Now we're going to.
Well, I
get
do,
along
and I
with
can't
China.
wait to visit again.
Yeah, we're going to go. Now we're going to get along with China. You got stock market. These people.
It's on the rise, man.
He
It's on the
says
rise.
one thing and it goes down, it dumps. Then another thing and it shoots up. Jesus Christ!
It's doing okay today, isn't it?
Doing great.
Yeah, today.
Well, doing great momentarily, but in the big picture, it's still nowhere where it was.
No.
It's not.
It's
where
got a
it
lot of
was.
climbing left to do.
But it's over 1,000 points ahead so far today.
Yeah.
But
the problem
then
is, hasn't it dropped 4?
He could say something at noon or 2, and then it goes all to hell. You can't. I mean, you really can't invest like that. You're either in or you're
No, but I'm
you're
like
out.
I'm to the point where on a day where things are going well, I guess enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how, because like you say, it could change. It could change so drastically. I mean, it's so unpredictable. Just kind of like the sport of baseball. How about the Cubs? How about their comeback against the Dodgers?
We'll talk to Rex about that.
Oh, see in today?
Oh.
Rub it in. I think that
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Cubs beat the Dodgers.
I see. I thought they lost, but I
Well, maybe
haven't
it was
looked.
2 nights ago. Hunter, didn't the Cubs have a good comeback the other day? Last night.
Oh, they did.
So
Great.
Rex is in at noon.
Yeah.
Rub it in, Suter.
I'm gonna kick his ass.
Hit him hard with a little Cubs first place, Dodgers my ass. What have they done lately? This is a
Well,
Cubs.
they're also in first place, I think.
Yeah, but see what?
But that was expected.
$8 trillion. I'm kidding. I'm happy for the Cubs. They're better than I thought. For now, it's still early, still very, very early. But they're playing all right, and I don't think it's going to take a great record to win that division. Do you?
No,
It usually doesn't take a great division.
No, the
record.
Cardinals sure aren't playing well, and
No.
the Brewers are less.
They're the
usual.
biggest surprise. I'm not as surprised by the Cardinals, and you know at some point the Cardinals are going to make some run. They always
Oh,
seem to.
they do.
They always seem to.
It's
They-
a great franchise.
Yes, they do. And trying to think transfer portal wise, of course we got to bring that up. We
Chit chat.
Chit. Yeah.
Chazadi.
Aren't we trying to ban that?
Chit chat.
Yeah, aren't we trying to ban that in America? Because it's China owns that, right?
No, that's TikTok.
Oh, okay. What's
What the hell?
Chit Chat's the nickname of a recruit they have. Is she 5'4"?
She is 5'4".
By last night, though, there was a thread, mean people. By the end of this thread, she was 4'11". I mean, it was just typical. Look at this. We're relying on midgets without. I mean,
There
it
was
was.
about
Somebody called her tattoo. I
mean, it's just. I don't know why we're laughing. It's mean. It's petty.
She looks really good though. I mean,
her stats are. Yeah, her stats are okay. She's not a very good outside shooter, is she?
oh, she has Caitlin range, but she shoots about
30
some percent.
Yeah,
32 or
that's the
3.
thing I was questioning. Yeah, her percentage is pretty low, but they are obviously looking for a point guard, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I don't want to sound like a. Do you think they've probably missed out on a few?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we know they have. We know they missed
we
out.
know they have.
I'm not saying. But if they get a girl, I just want to hear Jan Jensen refer to one of her players as Chit Chat throughout the season. Don't you?
Absolutely.
Well, we were really happy with Chit Chat the way she.
That was on Facebook last night. They probably posted the same thing that they did on X, and so yeah, somebody put a picture of Hervé Philish.
I mean, Tania Davis was what, 5'3", 5'4"? If this girl could be anything close, Tania Davis was pretty good.
She was.
I mean, her height did hurt her at times, but
Well, Georgia Tech played Nebraska last year,
and she had 7. Didn't she have?
She had 15 points.
15 points, yeah.
And there was one play where she absolutely posterized Britt Prince on the baseline.
Yeah, she's quick.
Yeah, it was a great.
So what? What other schools is she? What other one?
Georgia Tech only
I know, but what other schools has she
played against?
Or no, is she considering besides Iowa?
Auburn,
Okay, and I'm
which
not
is
sure.
close to home, but they just got a new coach. I think it looks pretty good for Iowa,
But you're also probably basing that on Iowa message boards that make it sound like everybody's
actually,
gonna-
no, I'm basing it on national
Oh,
speculation.
I mean-
but nothing's done.
yeah, no, I know she had just visited, and we'll see. They need a point guard, or at least they believe they need a point guard, and it's going to be interesting because that means they're going to have half their roster is going to be guards, assuming nobody leaves. That's going to give them 6 guards again, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yes.
Well, you would have Chit Chat, Addie Deal,
Strimlow,
Taylor McCabe,
Callie Levine, Taylor McCabe, and there's one.
Kylie Feuerbach.
Yeah, that's 6. 6 of almost half their roster will be guards. I mean, I guess Feuerbach, you could argue, could also play small forward.
And same with Taylor Strumlow.
And Taylor Stremlow, but at heart, they're guards. You're going to have, and this is no knock on Taylor Stremlow, but at 5'10", that's going to be a problem at small forward.
How tall is Sid Folter?
She was about
5'11"?
They listed her at 5'11", just under 6 feet, and she was a good rebounder for her size, but you just don't want to constantly have 5'10" and 5'11" small forwards.
Yeah.
So I look at Stremlow more as kind of a combo guard. So, but they obviously believe they need a point guard because that's what they have been pursuing since the season ended. I mean, that Jada Williams, that seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and she, I didn't think she would pick Iowa State. I didn't see that one coming either. That's why you can never guess on these things. You know?
No.
I mean, when she visited Iowa, all the people that always, great visit, everything fell into place. But then you have the Iowa State people that say the same stuff, and then what are you to believe? She loved both places. Then you just wait to see what she actually does, because a lot of these places make it sound like, yep, she's coming here, because that's what the readers want to. They want to be motivated, and then if they don't, you just move on to the next one. You just short memory, just move on. That's the way to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, and things happen so fast, you don't even, like if you were to sit down and write an article about, just take your pick, any recruit, and by the time you put it out there, they could have signed with somebody else. You don't know.
There are, like Dallas's brother, for example. He's got his 5 visits set. Iowa's his last visit, and those are all set starting this weekend over the next 5 weeks. I think he visits Iowa on May 20th. So, it's got Kansas State, Minnesota, Iowa State, and there's one other one. I'm guessing he picks Iowa. That's going to be an interesting one. And he does, like he said, if he picks Iowa, I think Dallas will have that on a podcast. Now, if he doesn't pick Iowa, we won't do a podcast, because why would Iowa fans want to hear somebody not pick the school that they cheer for? I wouldn't. That would be rubbing it in. But like I said, I hope he picks Iowa. I think it'd be neat having. He's already got one brother who plays at Nebraska, so it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I can't remember who the 5th one was. I'll have to look at his, because I know he tweeted his. You know how they do those graphics with the logos of the 5 schools.
Yes.
I mean, Minnesota, Kansas State, Iowa, and there's one other one that's maybe Northwestern. I'll look it up. Mm-hmm. So, but and now I'm going to look too. When we take a break, I'll try to find out what's going on.
So yeah, I mean, the portal season is really strange. It is fast moving.
Yeah, maybe we should take a break. Now Iowa's reaching out to ask if we can have somebody else on right.
Okay, yeah, let's
take a break, and then I will.
And we will be back shortly.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
We've said it for years. We want to give you our best price or most competitive price up front, and now Ford's brought that to the table.
Just makes you feel good.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams with Deary Ford.
It's a true Ford employee pricing plan.
As if you work for Ford or you're a retiree from Ford.
You could walk in and buy a new Ford for less money than I could purchase one for.
I have never seen Ford do a sale like this.
The From America for America event through June 2nd.
Shop Deary Ford, Iowa City.
When we say here for you, we mean it.
It's a great deal.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246. When you go to a family restaurant, you want three things. One, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Two, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And three, you want to be treated like family. You get all three at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches, and special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at midtownfamily.com. The family's waiting for you.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top-level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Hawkeye fans, you love watching the black and gold. You know Hawkeye Black and Gold. As a Hawkeye fan, there are no better colors than the Hawkeye Black and Gold. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson. When you're buying, selling, or refinancing your property, consider the green and white team, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement. The team you love, the people you trust.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion, holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illumilights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illumilights LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illumilights permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Hello, this is Bill Leixnering from the Oxyoke Inn, inviting you to a place where you have your choice of 4 portion sizes. And when you order our famous family style, you can take your leftovers home. To a place where you can make reservations online at oxyokeinn.com or by calling and speaking to a person at the Oxyoke. A place where, compared to a hotel, our private banquet rooms are very affordable. But most important, our fresh food is prepared to order, and our servers have a passion for serving you. At the Oxyoke, we've been practicing since 1940, serving daily with a brunch buffet on Sundays. Oxyoke Inn, in the heart of Amana, where you'll always leave happy.
We bleed black and gold. We're Hawkeyes, the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Yeah.
We're back. I left those corn kernels on my desk if you want to have some.
In
more.
the faux Cheetos?
Yeah, the faux Cheetos.
They're good.
Yeah. Because you come back here in the afternoon.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that I will eat.
Well, and if I would have left the bag in here, it would have been all gone.
Oh, yeah, Molly would probably eat them.
No, I mean, I would have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like we're going to have him on next week. So
okay.
So I'm still not sure what's going on today.
Well, we'll talk to whoever calls in, and and we're going to ask nothing but hardball questions.
Yeah.
What happened last night? We need answers.
Yeah.
And if nobody...
Yeah, and that the music question. Are you stupid enough to have...
the Pokemon theme song?
Well, I don't want to...
I'm getting bombarded with texts.
Hey.
Obviously, they're not listening.
Any sexting?
Oh, you're on... No sexting. You're on the radio. Okay. I mean... All right, just a second. My neighbor's...
So I don't know.
My neighbor's showing me a picture of a woodpecker that's pecking their tree.
Oh, well, that's good that it's pecking a tree.
Yes, but like I said, I've fixed, at least temporarily, because I said I'm using that suet stuff, and it's working so far.
Yeah.
It's working, and no raccoon last night either. So that's 4 nights in a row without the raccoon.
All right, so you solved your problem.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, because like my neighbor said, they do disappear and go somewhere else, and they could come back. So we'll see. But I'm going to leave the aluminum foil on there just for the time being.
I would too.
I'm not sure if this war's over yet.
Well, you won the most recent battle.
Yes, I would say that. I won the most recent battle.
I will say this.
At your house, they love you, and y'all get along great, and it's great.
I did leave a little square
there you go.
out and for the possum this morning, because the possum was on the deck.
So you left him out a little square of pizza?
A little square pizza.
He eat it?
Took it in its mouth and went under the deck.
So it was just hanging out on your deck in those mornings?
It just hangs out at the deck.
Yes.
It sleeps. Well, we had a cat. The cat wouldn't use it. It's a little place where the cat can go in.
Have you ever tried to pick the possum up and hug it?
No. No.
Have you ever touched it?
Well, no. I handed it the pizza, though.
Okay, so now if you go out there and look and there's a little pile of mushrooms, then you'll know not to order mushrooms the next time on the pizza.
Yeah. But anyway, it just was that little, the little triangle.
Those are my favorite part.
Yeah, it was that, and it sleeps where this was a cat thing where the cat can go in and sleep and okay, so. That cost me like $100 and something. The cat would never use it, so I put it outside for the other cat. Well, the other cat doesn't come around anymore, but the possum gets in it, and so now I handed it the thing, and it took it in its mouth and went under the deck. So.
There you go.
Yeah, Pat, the last name I saw of interest was a guy named Dylan Darling. Not to be confused with Briscoe Darling.
I was going to say, it sounds like somebody from Andy Griffith.
Jesus.
I'm not sure if I saw another one, but that's name. I saw one where the guy had just entered the portal and had heard from, and it was a list of like 15 schools. And I may have retweeted it, but okay, what's the information on this kid?
Idaho State sophomore Dylan Darling, one of the most underrated players in the transfer portal, had a great season, averaging 23 and 6.
I love how he's one of the most underrated players in the portal.
Number 2 combo guard while winning Big Sky Player of the Year as a sophomore.
So they could get the Horizon League Player of the Year and the Big Sky Player of the Year.
And Valley.
Yes.
Sturts.
And what would the cynics say?
This isn't the Big Ten.
Mid-level paradise. That's what they'd call it.
Jesus.
So anyway, he's got some interest in Iowa at least.
What other schools did he mention?
I'm trying to see if there is a list. Usually there is, but
I thought I retweeted one too.
But it wasn't him?
I'm looking to see. Maybe I didn't. Sometimes I just... There's so many.
Well, you can only do so many.
Well, I remember there's times where I've retweeted some guy who's got Iowa in his top 10.
And then he goes somewhere
5
else.
minutes later, it's just... no, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, he's visiting Patino and St. John's.
Well, that ain't good.
Texas A&M.
That ain't good either.
Okay.
Well, they're in good company.
Yeah. So then we probably won't get it.
We're always including me quick to knock and okay, who'd they beat from the big? Now they're competing with the big boys to get this guy. So we'll see.
It's so interesting that Patino said, "Yeah, I'm not even recruiting high school kids anymore.
McCollum
I'm recruiting
really
men."
McCollum's not, other than the kid from Valley. He's
Well,
not
he got that kid Yurok, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying. The kid from Valley. That's the only high school kid But Ben can't really afford to spend a lot of time right now recruiting. He's got to get a roster of men ready to go.
Yeah.
You're not going to win with a bunch of freshmen, and
no,
he's got to get men in there, and that's what he's doing. I mean, he is surrounding himself with players he's familiar with. But like I said, with the Robert Morris transfer, Sturts, and Hausen? Hausen. I like how those three will be able to spread the floor, and that will open up space for Banks and Manwai to operate near the basket, and hopefully another big man that they can get, and Cooper Koch too. So, I mean, I can at least see this team starting to take shape.
You're starting to get a little picture of what they could look like, but there's still a couple pieces to go.
Oh, without question. I think they need another point guard, and they need another front
big guy.
player. Yeah,
maybe a real big guy.
Yeah, it'd be nice because, like I said, if Jurek's ready to play, fine. If not, it'd be nice if you could redshirt him.
Yeah.
And if you brought in a more experienced big man, maybe that would give you the luxury of doing that. So we'll see. But there's still time. I mean, we're not in May yet, and there's going to be a lot happening in May, June, July. You're going to see more football stuff happening. It's like I said, it's just never ending. This stuff is just it's just nonstop.
Hello.
It is.
Hey, question. Walk-ons that were at Iowa, like there was Jacob Cook, and I thought there was another one or two. What happened to those guys?
They have moved on. I'm not sure.
I think that's right.
Jacob Cook, I
saw it where maybe he was still here, but then again, I'm not sure about
I'm not sure about his status, but there's nothing, I guess, stopping him from being a walk-on if the new regime wants him and what have you. But Carter Kingsbury was on scholarship this last year, but he came as a walk-on. He's in the portal, and I haven't heard anything about him coming back. Have you?
Or going somewhere else.
Somewhere else. And I haven't seen anything. Chris Taggio was not a walk-on. But and then the other walk-on was Luke Laquetta. He's done. He went through senior day.
Yeah.
We kind of lost those guys in the shuffle of what's happening to them and all the assistant coaches and other support staff. What happened to them? You feel for them. They've invested in the Iowa program and.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
No, it can be a harsh business. I know Matt Gatens has interviewed for some jobs and is still looking. I'm sure Courtney Eldridge is doing the same. I'm guessing Sherm Dillard's probably retiring. He's in his 70s.
I would guess.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that would be my guess, is that Sherm's probably pondering retirement.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yep. Hey, thanks for the call.
And I know Oh, his name's escaping me now. He went with Fran. His name's escaping me. Dallas has done 2 podcasts with him, and it's who I'm talking
Not
about.
Courtney
No,
Eldridge.
I'm not sure what Courtney's doing now, but the guy, his name is completely escaping me right now. Spurlock.
Yeah.
Now his first
Tristan.
Yeah, Tristan Spurlock. He has been hired as an assistant coach with Fran out at Penn. I have not seen anything with Eldridge. I could have missed it. Wow, the ice cream man's here. That's kind of creepy.
That's my ringtone. And my alarm, if I use it for
Are
that.
you bothered by that, Captain?
It sounded like the ice cream.
It did sound like the ice cream.
Yeah, the ice cream.
Who does come by.
I think it's very relaxing, comforting, as opposed to being awakened with the which I don't like.
You should have had, instead, you should have it the part A Whole Lot of Love where it shifts to the. Oh, wait, no, are we going to get a warning from Spotify that you can't?
That you can't go.
Well, you can't make any sounds reference to music. That's copyright.
No, you can reference music.
You can't sing it.
You can't play it.
I wonder if it's the same as the copyright. You can do 6 notes, but at 7 you're violating the
It's
copyright.
whatever the algorithm is on YouTube or Spotify. That stuff doesn't.
I told you about, we got that thing out of the blue saying, hey, 2 of your podcasts on Hawk Fanatic had copyright violation music. And I'm sitting there thinking, what music? I don't know what you're talking. And they said, we're going to take them down. And fine, take them down. They're but I can't remember us ever playing music.
All I know is that I went, when we went to YouTube, I sent them our contracts from all the, ASCAP, EMI, CSAC at the time, all of them. And they accepted them, and we were on YouTube live for years. And then one day, they started flagging us, and so I sent him all the stuff back that I was talking to. And, we've changed our procedure now, and you're not allowed, And
do you think they'd let you know?
Well, they didn't. And then we were talking about, we're just going to go on our own and stream, when we play the music or whatever. And then I just got tired of it. I just got tired. Who cares?
Yeah, I could see. I could see the same thing. But it's not like we don't play music.
Yeah.
But remember, in the old days, you could, right?
In the old days, you could. And they probably, grabbed one of the real old ones and said, Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think the people that ultimately suffer are the listeners. When you agree? All I know is, and I don't know of too many other stations, but this station, I was told by YouTube, by a bot or something, we're banned in Russia.
Okay.
They can't watch this. They can't watch in Russia.
That's unfortunate because I know there's a ton of Hawk Fanatic fans in Russia. At least I've been told that. They love that. They love that it's free. And no Google interruptions.
Yeah,
they love
Google
that.
interruptions.
It's really big. And
God dang, it's getting worse.
What, Google
interruptions. On those news sites that go on NBC, CBS.
Well, try going on like a news. Go on like I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't want to. But like the Register and the Gazette. Have you been on? It's just not. It's just.
No, you can't. You can't read a damn thing. Even if, and I subscribe to like USA Today. Okay, can't read a damn thing
because of pop-ups, right?
I'll tell you that happened to me yesterday. I don't watch a lot of interviews and stuff, but. Jan Jensen did an interview with somebody.
I think wasn't she on the TV show up at KCRG?
Yes.
Yeah, she was there.
I started to
watch. Kirk will be on there on next Monday.
I started to watch it and watched maybe 6-7 minutes. It was really good. I was interested. And then it got into ads. And 5 minutes later, there were still more ads, and I said, "I'm not going to sit through this."
And I get it, guys.
I'm not going to do it.
It's frustrating, but I'm thinking here, especially somebody who has to make his money. How else is there to make money?
Oh, I understand.
Like with our podcast, I worry about getting too many scripts on there because somebody like, okay. But they're the people. I mean, if we don't have them, you don't have any money unless you want to just go straight to the Google stuff, and then it's
Google ruins.
And I'm still resisting.
Well, see, that's Channel 9. It's Google. I mean,
it's
they're all that way. But so's the Register, so's the Gazette,
Yeah.
they're all.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can't. Well, New York Times handles it right because the New York Times, you get to a paragraph, it's got an ad. You can go past it and go to the. The next part of the article.
But you're still having to go past it and go to the next.
Yeah.
It's still annoying.
But you can. But on the other ones, you can't. You go there, that stinking ad comes up, and you're stuck.
Well,
there
I was on the
ad's
Register.
done.
I don't subscribe, so I'm not on there much. I get like 3 free ones a month. I was on there the other day. I can't remember. I was looking for something, and I was reading, and then, like I said, the next thing I know, the paragraph I was reading is up there again, and it takes me back up, and I find myself reading. I'm like, wait, I've already read this.
Yeah,
but because a pop-up came up there and pushed everything up, and I'm like, all right, I can't take this.
Well, it's doing it on every. We couldn't read our own articles.
Oh, I never went on your guys' site when it was.
Well, you couldn't.
It was so.
I mean,
annoying.
you couldn't read anything.
They ruined it.
They absolutely ruined it. And then, we started losing income. Well, you guys don't have the readership you did. Well, yeah,
you ruined it.
You wrecked it. And now we're back
and
up.
See, those are my
we
fears.
Were.
That's my fear. That's why I withstood. Because with our traffic, I've been told we're probably losing out on $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
But what if the traffic all of a sudden goes from 25 or 30,000 a week down to 10? They're not going to be paying us that same amount.
Well, exactly.
And then you have to work to build that traffic back up.
Well, we were making $2 something a month, and then it went down to $1 something a month. And then it went down to...
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it went down to below 500.
And it was an unworkable equation because with losing your traffic, then you lose...
Yeah.
Then you lose your
money.
Well, you lose the ability to, like, when I go out and try to meet with new potential advertisers, one of the first things they ask is, okay, well, what kind of traffic? And then, you want to be able to say as much as possible. Now, some don't care. Some they don't really seem that concerned with traffic. But to me, that would be something. If I'm going to spend money, I'd want to know if my brand's going to be seen by people.
Well, the same thing here. Well, I would think everybody cares that we got the listenership.
Yeah,
I would hope
so.
Yeah, I had one advertiser tell us they didn't care about traffic. And they're not with us right now at the moment, but they've been with us, and they say they're going to come back, and you guys know who they are, and they just
I don't understand.
They just didn't care about traffic. Well, the guy we dealt with just said they didn't care about traffic. They just
what he would say, what he says is, look, this is the kind of business where we absolutely have no idea where everything is coming from. We cannot measure it, but we can just look at trends. He said that's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was so frustrated at KFMH because at KFMH it was an emotional buy. I like the blues mixed in with it. It was an emotional buy. And when we started getting really good ratings, I said, hey, look, we got great ratings, so I don't care about that. Well, it kind of negates then what I do. And with a website, I would think you would have to care about traffic.
Oh, that's my number one concern.
Yeah.
No, that's how. I mean, I check every week. We get analytics sent to us every week, and now there's traffic right now. Obviously, it's not as good as it is in March and February. I mean, you have trends because of what's happening. And I will say, I don't know how about it. Our traffic for spring football has not been very good, and I just haven't seen a lot of motivation or interest in spring football. Have you, Tom?
No, zero.
I haven't been on message. Is there a ton of message board conversation?
No.
And I think
there's content, but there's not very much interaction because I don't. Just using me as an example, I don't care about football right now. I know that the team does.
And you're not alone.
No, I'm watching the basketball rosters come together, and that, to me, is interesting right now.
Yeah, that's more interesting, and it drives better traffic because it's more newsworthy. Spring football is what it is. I mean, they're going to make the 3 coordinators available today. I applaud the fact that Iowa makes so much of their program accessible during spring. We get 30 players. We get these coordinators today, but there's just not a lot of news, and it's all the same. Like you've joked about, they're all saying the same thing. Oh, guys are working hard, but got a lot of work to do.
We got a lot of work. We're not ready to play yet, but I'm seeing some good things, and everybody's
and I
working
love the
hard.
fight, and the attitude in this team is unified.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Is this Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Daniel Ryder. Okay, hey, okay, sorry, I wasn't for sure when or if you were going to call in today. I appreciate it. We got Daniel Rogers, the Iowa baseball catcher and former. I got to ask you, were you on the Loris team that beat Iowa?
I was, yeah. That was my sophomore year.
Yeah, we haven't forgiven you yet.
Okay. Does that ever come up? Do you ever bring that up? Because I covered that game, and I got to tell you, I tweeted the last pitch on the video of the last pitch. It's the most traffic I've ever got on anything I've ever tweeted Iowa football. Because right afterwards, Division I baseball picked it up, and that was a huge deal. I'm just curious if it ever comes up with your teammates.
Yeah, a few times, but it's always lighthearted and funny.
So, obviously, we were talking earlier last night. Obviously, I didn't see a loss coming, but baseball is what it is. It's a strange sport. Can you kind of explain what happened last night?
Yeah, you always got to be your best, and obviously last night it didn't really go our way, and really there's nothing else to do now but learn from it and just bounce back tonight. Luckily, we get to play again tonight, so got to have a short memory and just do what we can do to try and get a W tonight.
That's what I was going to ask you. You like the fact that there's another game tonight, that you can bounce back and try to put the last night that memory away.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of the greatest things about baseball is you're always going to play pretty soon after. So
in your season so far has been, especially since you got into the Big Ten action, has just been terrific, winning all of your series, and got another big series coming up this weekend against Indiana. And, boy, you got to, even in spite of last night's loss, you've got to feel great about where you guys stand at the top of the standings.
Yeah, definitely. We got 3 conference series left, and we put ourselves in a good position from here, and it's really been everybody top to bottom, pitchers, hitters, everybody that's really contributed. We pick each other up in different situations this past weekend in Michigan. Sometimes we didn't have the best at-bats or, didn't put up as much runs as we're capable of, but our pitchers stepped up and vice versa.
If by my count, did you start, am I right, 130 games at Dort? Did I count right? Or not Dort, at Loris, I'm sorry. I'm getting you mixed up with Iowa tight end Hayden Large, who came from Dort. Did you start 130 games? Am I right?
I'm not sure, but it sounds like it might be around there.
Well, I know it was a lot of games. Kind of explain, obviously you proved yourself at that level. Just explain kind of what led to you deciding to play your last year at Iowa.
Yeah, at Loris, we would come to Iowa City every year around the start of the season and play Iowa, and I think it was kind of after my senior year. I had a good game, and the coaches were kind of a little interested. And then just when the whole transfer portal thing opened up, I was able to reach out, and that's kind of how I got here.
And
they knew me from the games, and then just hopped in the portal that way, and then was able to come.
And for you, the competitive athlete that you are, you wanted to test yourself at the highest level of college baseball. I'm assuming was that part of it too? Yeah,
my plan was always to transfer with that fifth year of eligibility that I had to a Division I school. And when Iowa became an opportunity for me, it was really just a no-brainer.
So, and you started every game. Somebody said, did you come here with the original intent of mostly being a DH, but now all of a sudden you're the starting catcher, or was that always the plan to do both?
The plan was to always do both catching and first base, and then DH along with that. I played a lot of first last year at Loris, but have always been a catcher. I caught in high school and then caught games at Loris too. And so when I got here, that was kind of the plan, was just continue developing as a catcher, and so far it's been mostly catching.
So is it a little harder when you do DH? Is it harder to stay in the flow of the game and I would think that playing in the field and then coming to
especially
bat,
catcher.
Yeah, you're in the game. You're such a key component. But then if you're DH, you're kind of maybe you have a lot of opportunity to not lock into the game. Is that ever a problem?
I've DH'd in the past, so personally, it's never really a problem for me. But I could definitely see and just have heard other people around baseball just say like it's a little bit of an adjustment for them. But personally for me, I've done it in the past. I know what I need to do to be able to stay locked into the game, so it's not really that big of an adjustment for me.
If you had to pick what one thing stands out, the biggest difference between the pitching you're facing now on a regular basis as opposed to when you were at Loras, is there one thing? Is it speed, movement? What makes the pitchers at this level better?
I think they're just more competitive, really, with their misses, with their whole mindset. Definitely the stuff is better, but that's something that you're able to get used to over time. And I really just think it's the competitiveness of the pitchers on the mound. You're not getting big misses because it becomes easy to hit when you get non-competitive misses, and then the guy will throw one right over the heart of the plate. But I think that's kind of the biggest adjustment is just really being locked in every pitch and the competitiveness of the guys on the mound.
So, Daniel, do you like the pitch clock, the time on the pitch clock? And, I mean, does it speed up the game a little bit? Is that better for you as a player?
I'm actually a fan of the pitch clock and all those rules. I do like them. I know, like, when we go over the summer and play summer ball, like collegiate summer leagues, those games can be a little longer just because they don't have those kind of rules sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
Just the past couple seasons, I've been a fan of the pitch clock.
I mean, what was Coach Heller's message last night? Obviously, baseball, weird game, tons of games, but what did he say to you guys, if you mind sharing?
Yeah, it wasn't our best, but all we can do is learn from it, and we got another game tonight, so gotta be able to bounce back and get right back on the right track tonight.
And these midweek games, I think they're kind of easy for the fan to take for granted, whatever, but these games are important. I mean, talk about the importance of trying to win as many of these midweek games as you can.
Yeah, definitely. We treat every midweek game just the same as the weekend, and they're all very important games that, we want to go in and win, especially when they're at home, and just something we got to learn from last night and then bring a different level of focus tonight.
So when did you realize in last night's game, we're in trouble? Was it something that's just not feeling right? Or because you guys have had so many games where you've
been able to turn
it on.
You've
been able to just figure out a way to win. When did you start saying, this one's not feeling right?
I don't think we ever really had that feeling.
Okay.
We had a lot of chances during the late stages of the game. I think we were down 4-0 in the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
But the capabilities of our offense, we really do feel like we're never really out of a game. And I think just through the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, we just continued to have chances. Even in the 9th, we got 2 guys on at the end. And, all you're asking for in that situation is for a guy to come to the plate as a tying run with a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few different times in that game where we had some opportunities, but it just didn't end up working out for us.
You've worked, Iowa's 3 starting pitchers with Cade Obermuller and Aaron Savory and Reese Buter. How, with your performance behind the plate, do you have to be different with each pitcher? Are they all? I know their styles are different or whatever, but does what you do change with who's ever out on the mound?
Not really. I just try to do my job back there. They're all different guys, but at the end of the day, I spend every day with them, and there's nothing really that I have to change to be able to work for those guys back there.
So what makes Cade Obermuller? I've been watching him since 8th grade, and he's always been small, undersized. When he's on, what makes him so hard to hit?
Man, he's one of the biggest competitors I've ever met. His stuff is just insane. The sliders, very hard to hit. The fastball, when it has that ride to it or that run to it, it just makes it so hard to hit. His arm slot and everything, and he's a dog up there. He really is. When he's on, it's a joy to watch.
And what I was always amazed about Cade, from the moment I watched him in 8th grade, he has incredible movement on the ball. And I know a lot said about, he throws 95. But, even at your level, if you throw 94, 95, but you put it right over the plate, it's going to get hit, right? I mean, you guys can easily hit 90-mile-per-hour fastballs if there's no movement. It's right over the plate.
Yeah, definitely. If there's not a lot of movement to a ball, if it's kind of a flat fastball, it makes it a little easier. But, yeah, with Cade, that thing's always moving in a different direction. And that makes him special. And then just his mindset, how he goes about everything, really does make him special too.
So, Daniel, as a catcher, when your signals get mixed up with your pitcher, and like you're expecting, let's just say a inside curveball, and you get a heater coming at you, do your eyes get big as saucers, and you sit there and say, "Oh man."
Yeah, it never does really happen since we got the pitch comm.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean. Yeah, I just haven't really had that happen yet. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but yeah, it's definitely not fun to get crossed up.
No, I would think
it is amazing though, the technology, just how. I mean, Daniel, you've seen the pro games now. They'll be like interviewing the starting left fielder during the course of a game. What do you think about that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, could you imagine like doing an interview and catching at the same time?
Yeah, personally, I think that'd be really tough to do. Just like being unlocked like that, trying to talk to guys while you're playing. But, as a fan of baseball, I enjoy watching it. But as a player, I think I would not enjoy it.
No.
Okay, before we wrap up, you guys have, every game counts. But, man, these last 3 series you guys have, Indiana, you get the Oregon State in Des Moines, and you got Oregon here. I mean, you guys have a lot of opportunities still left. You still control your own destiny. What is sort of the mindset of this team moving forward? I mean, right now, regardless of what happened last night, you guys are in first place in the Big Ten.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we know we have plenty of great opportunities coming up. And it's just really about being ready for them and doing what we've done all season. We talk a lot about doing our 1/9, doing our job, and really not going beyond that or trying to press the issue beyond that. And I think we're going to get back to that and really just play nice complementary baseball between our pitchers and our hitters and just do our 1/9 up and down the lineup, which as we know, can lead to success.
So did you think, this is my last question, did you think you guys were underrated coming into the season? Because not many people outside of maybe your locker room were giving you guys much of a chance to compete for this title. Did you guys know you had something, or have you surprised yourself a little bit?
I wouldn't say we felt underrated or were surprised by anything like that. I just think, as we went about our things in the off season, in the fall, and then early in the spring, we knew we had a good team and we have good players, and we talk a lot about how the depth of our team is really special. We got more than just 9 guys that can go out there and play every day. And I think that's a known thing on this team, and it's kind of what makes us special. And when we talk about doing our 1/9 like that could be anybody, 1 through 40 on a team.
Sure. Well, like I said,
I think that's kind of what's led to our success is just believing in each other, believing in ourselves, and just doing our jobs in the moment.
Well, like I said, big series this weekend against Indiana. The weather looks like it's going to cooperate. I know there's going to be a lot of fans there, so good luck this weekend, Daniel. And we got one last question for you that Tom's going to ask, and appreciate you being on.
No problem.
Okay, so Daniel, you look down at your cell phone, and the name that pops up on the screen is Beth Getz. And so you pick it up, and Beth says, Daniel, I need your help. We need to get some money in here, and we need you, Daniel Rogers, to hire a band, an act, or a singer to fill up Kinnick Stadium. Who is Daniel Rogers going to hire?
Who am I going to hire to fill up Kinnick Stadium?
To fill it up. Yep.
Well, personally, I am a big country music fan, and I think that Luke Combs would probably sell out Kinnick Stadium. So I would hire Luke Combs.
I think
doesn't come to Iowa too often.
I think that's a pretty good choice, and we were talking about that as a possibility the other day, and a few other players and or coaches have picked Luke Combs, and I think it's a good choice. And we really appreciate you coming on, Daniel. So take care of the game tonight and take care of the Hoosiers this weekend.
Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
So, yeah, we've had Luke at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised we haven't had him a little bit more just because he's so popular right now.
Yeah.
And I know you still play the thing from, what was that from? The Emmys?
Yeah, no, the
Emmys,
Country Music Awards.
Oh, was it the Country Music Award?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was, I love that song.
Oh, I thought it was like the Grammys. No,
I thought it was the
Was
Grammys.
it the Grammys?
I think it was the Grammys.
No, one of them.
Yeah, because Taylor
don't-
Swift was out dancing in the crowd. She
Yeah.
wouldn't have been at the. Would she have been at the Country Music Awards too?
Not this. No.
Yeah.
No.
She would have 15 years ago, but
But she's drifted more to the pop side. Paul's out there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was him because I couldn't see it first.
Yeah.
He had to come in there and hit you with his cane. What would you do if he did that?
Smack him.
You'd smack him back?
Yes, I'm just as crippled as he is. I got a fake knee.
Okay. But no, it's fun. Like I said, I got my.
I can do that.
Iowa did send me something a couple of days ago saying he was going to be on at 10, and I got confused. So, but no, that went fine. I said, fun getting to know these guys, and his attitude as far as last night, it just happens. There's just, as strange as it seems, that's just how that sport works sometimes. If you're not, I'm not saying they weren't ready or the other. What I hate more is when somebody loses, the other team wanted it more.
Yeah.
I hate
that.
The other team, I remember our coach said, oh, they want it more. No, they don't. They're just playing better right now today.
Yeah.
They don't want any more than we do. We want to win, too.
I never played at that level, but any time I played in a competitive event, I wanted to win.
Yes.
This guy comes up to me in the parking lot. I forgot to talk about this at Hy-Vee.
Why is it always at Hy-Vee when these things happen?
I don't know. I pulled into the parking lot and a handicapped because I got a handicap thing. And he goes, and I get out of the car and I'm going, and he goes, you don't look handicapped to me. And I said, well, I just got my knee replaced and I'm not. Well, you just think you're a big shot. Everybody at that station thinks they're big shots.
Yeah.
Sure we do.
And
Yeah.
I just looked at him and I kept walking in.
That's the first thing I think of, like when I hit one of those potholes. Man, I am a big shot.
Okay. Then I come out and I see the guy.
He's still there?
Yes, because he's taking in the carts.
Oh.
And he just goes past mine, so I'm putting in I'm going.
So he
to
was
put
a
it
worker
in.
from Hy-Vee?
Yeah.
That's not good that a Hy-Vee worker would lash out at a customer like that.
I don't think he's at the top of the food chain.
But that's still not good PR.
No,
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't complain to the establishment.
I'm not going to. No.
But yeah,
No, because that would be, I go in there and complain. Then
think he recognized
then
your
I'm
face
acting
or
like a big shot.
Well, did he recognize your face or your license plate? Because your license plate pretty much explains who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think he knew who I was because he said everybody at that station.
But he also could have seen the 1630 AM license plate.
Yeah, that's probably
that might have been a cue too. That hey, this guy looks
possible.
like he works for KCJJ.
Well,
that's
or
the
he
risk
could have seen. Or he could have seen the back of my T-shirt.
Was KCJJ, and the front was KCJJ.
Yeah.
Probably had a KCJJ hat on. And I guess he probably put 2 and 2 together and said, this guy works for
Steve's
KCJJ.
not a hat guy.
Nor am I. I don't wear hats.
No,
either
I
very
look like
often.
a gumball.
Well, I still have hair. Why wear a hat if you still have hair at my age?
Is that why I wear a hat sometimes?
I guess I hadn't thought of it.
I came here and you had more hair.
No, not really. It was darker.
Is that why you wear a hat?
No, I just like hats.
I just have never been a hat person, other than when I had to wear them for baseball.
Okay.
Ringworm. Hats bring ringworm.
We do have a little breaking news here.
Yeah.
Is it massive?
No. Jesse Shaw and Xavier Kurth have been named to the University of Iowa men's basketball program's coaching staff. Announcement made by head coach Ben McCollum 14 minutes ago. Shaw will serve as the Hawkeyes' chief of staff, while Kurth will be the director of player development. The duo spent the 24-25 season at Drake, where they helped the Bulldogs enjoy unprecedented success.
So he's basically brought his
entire
staff and half of his roster from Drake, and I was told that's what he was going to do, and that's his prerogative.
Well,
that is his prerogative, and of course this happens when I'm in here, so
It does.
I'll be the last one to get this posted like an hour from now because nobody's around to post it for me. But whatever. This isn't going to make or break.
No,
What is
that's not
Dallas leaving? Is that
Dallas is leaving in July or August. I believe he's moving to Arizona. I know he's moving to Arizona. I think it's in July. He and his fiance are going down there. His mom's down there, and he just wants to try something different.
That's hot.
Oh, like I said, I
In
can never.
Dallas, you say?
No, in Arizona.
Oh,
It's hot in Dallas, too.
Yeah, but in Arizona.
Arizona's miserable. I just would never want to live there.
I got a friend that, Bobby Rich, my old PD program director, he likes it, he loves it. And it's 100. It was 100.
Tempe's a lot better than Tucson. I've been to both. And so have you, haven't you?
Yes.
Didn't you like Tempe more than Tucson?
Yes.
Tucson was sort of depressing. I don't know what it was about Tucson. It just, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. And there's no grass. There's no trees. It's just cement.
I didn't care for.
It's just cement and sand.
Yeah.
Cement and sand. That's what I remember most about it.
I couldn't do it.
But some people love the weather, and that's more power to them. But I would probably, if I had to choose between Arizona and Florida, I'd probably reluctantly pick Arizona as the less of two evils. I mean, the Florida humidity is just brutal. And like I said, I didn't like Florida when I lived there.
I do like when we visit, being on the Gulf Coast, but I would not want to be there in the summertime. It's oppressive.
Yeah, unless you lived in a big mansion right off the ocean to where you could find ways to beat. But you're right, though. The humidity is it's brutal down there.
It is.
I'm sure, like right now, it's probably uncomfortable down there. We're almost into May.
Yeah.
Because I remember May and June down in Florida were brutal.
Well, FM antennas that go on the towers are made of copper.
They probably rust out, don't they?
Within 10 years, if not sooner.
I'm sure.
They disintegrate. They don't rust out. They just disintegrate.
Paul left.
And
he's gone.
He's hacked.
Yeah.
He left. He what? He brought a coconut?
Yeah, you go on a coconut?
I like coconut, but I like it like with an Almond Joy. That's how I like coconut.
Me. Yeah.
Or like on top of a chocolate donut, sprinkled on top of by itself. I don't know if I've ever had a coconut by itself.
Yeah. I have. It's a hassle to
eat it.
Well, and to access the meat, it's hard to break into it, and no, it's not any fun.
Lived on it on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And sometimes used them as weapons. Remember they'd fall on people's heads?
Yeah.
That was always a problem.
The Japanese soldier.
Yeah, Hollywood movie star. Yeah. He was also the head of the Gypsies on Andy Griffith. Same guy. Was his last name like Viti or Vito?
Vito something.
Yeah. What's that? Okay, yeah. Oh, Hollywood movie star. Back to the Hawks. So, his staff is pretty much, that's 5 assistants and head coach. So that's pretty much, the staff is pretty much complete. And people keep asking, I get a lot of about Matt Gatens. All I've heard is that Matt has had some interviews. Nothing has fallen into place yet, but that he's still out there looking. And Matt will land on his feet somewhere. I mean,
well, I'm imagining that Matt's not a spendthrift, and he's made good money the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I don't think finance. I don't think Matt has to worry about.
No,
finances.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean,
plus Mike's loaded.
Well, you just came right out and said what I was hinting at. Oh, if Mike's Matt comes from good financial stock, and so did Mike. Yes. Yeah. So let's just go in. Should we do a deep dive into the Gatens financial empire here before we wrap up today? But no, I mean, like I said, it was fun having Matt here. I like Matt. I've known Matt. I remember when Matt was 8th grade playing at the Primetime League and what have you. And I think he was good for Iowa, but I'm not going to criticize Ben McCollum for hiring his guys. It's just the way it works. It's a business. And I'm sure Matt understands that. But I think Matt will make will make some program better when they hire him.
I miss Primetime League, and I know it was always very misleading because you'd get guys who would never, play, ultimately scoring 42 points and
when
36.
You bring up Primetime, it makes me think of Randy Larson, and then I'm reminded that he's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget stuff like that, Randy was the Primetime League.
He was.
And once great. There wasn't going to be anyone else to do what he did, I don't think.
No.
But Fran didn't really want the primetime league. And some people will say that was part of Fran's, that's what kind of contributed to Fran's demise, is that he, they didn't do shirts and skins. He quit doing the primetime league. And those ones I will agree with. Now, the fact that he didn't go on certain people's podcasts and radio shows,
nonsense.
Crap.
Yeah, that has
but by
no
discontinuing shirt and skins and by discontinuing the primetime league, yes, I think that hurt their ability to push their brand, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, the media stuff, that's just media people whining. He wasn't nice to me.
That just was so,
and I'm important.
That was so ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, that was just one of the dumbest narratives that was going on. But no, I think... Now, in fairness, when Randy got ill, that made the prime. But Fran had already pulled back prior to that. I think Randy would have still kept doing it. Randy would have done that to his grave. I mean, it meant so much to him. And it was neat, though. It was neat. I mean, I'll admit there were times where I got tired of driving out to North Liberty to cover it 3 times a week. You had to, though, because it drove traffic. People were interested.
Yeah. Well, as a fan, I loved it.
It was the first glimpse of, that was my first glimpse of Kenyon Murray, my first glimpse of
Monteer Glasper.
I remember when they both walked into a 119-degree gym at City High. Just dripping sweat. I'm like, God, this is hell on earth.
Yeah, that was brutal. And I was there.
They'd have to stop the game like 5 or 10 times during the course of a game, and Randy would go out there and wipe all the sweat down.
When I first came here, we were already signed up to do a job fair at City High and went into that gym. And this was like in April or something, but it was a hot day.
Imagine what it was like in June and July.
Then
they moved it over to West High, and it was a little better. But once they got it out to North Liberty, that was great.
Now, didn't we carried some primetime?
Why didn't you guys? You guys should have done. Why didn't you do that?
Not when I was here.
It might have been before you, but yeah, we did.
Could you not sell any advertising? Was it?
Well, no, we couldn't.
Interesting.
I think it was Eric Tomei, wasn't it?
I remember.
Well, that's who was working here when I got here.
I'm surprised you weren't able to sell advertising with that. I think, but maybe I'm naive.
I might have made a few bucks for us on it.
He was the only one that was selling advertising, and the station had a 60-cycle hum on it, and the signal didn't go anywhere at night. Am I exaggerating?
Not at all. You might be sugarcoating.
Paul's back.
Good for you.
Look to your left. You got to have your head on a swivel, Captain.
Yeah, that's what I got.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed the primetime league, and
I did too.
No, that would.
Fran never really gave. Well, his answer was, "We are getting more. The NCAA is allowing us to have more practice time with them." So, what was the point? And I sort of saw that, but and maybe he was also concerned about the injury factor. Although, when I think back about it, Dean Oliver is the only one I ever saw get seriously injured at the primetime league, and he was not playing it. He was in the NBA at the time. And remember, I think he hurt his ankle or his Achilles.
Something, yeah.
But I just thought those were two things that Fran, the shirts and skin things before football games, people enjoyed that stuff.
They did. And they had good attendance.
They did, and it just kept men's basketball in people's minds. And I think those were two mistakes that he made.
And it kept people away from the tailgates a little bit, which is probably a good thing as well.
Did you ever go to any of those shirts and skins?
A few.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, what impressed me the most when I came here was, number one, was you. I was going to have to keep you because you were selling, and you were selling nothing. I mean,
well,
I got the ratings like that they had purchased, that the station had purchased, and I opened up the book.
We're looking good,
and we were number 11. And there were 9 local stations.
Yeah, who else beat us out? WHO?
KFMH was...
KFMH was number 1.
It was number 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but KXIC, WMT, WHO.
Yeah.
And there was KDK. Number 9 was KDKA.
Jesus.
Out of Pittsburgh. I don't know why. But that's...
Who knows?
I don't know why. But, yeah, we were number 11.
Yeah. That wasn't great.
Yeah, I'm looking at Xavier Kurth, the Director of Player Development. So he's basically having the job that Spurlock had under Fran.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So, but no, what I like the fact that these guys, other than the guy coming from Texas Tech, they're all familiar with... There's the transition in that phase is going to be seamless.
Yes,
I mean, it's hard enough building the roster.
Yes.
At least it's been a lot. He hasn't had to spend as much time building his staff because I think he's known who he.
Yes.
It's just a matter of doing it procedurally, process-wise, and whatever. So he's been able to devote all his time to building this roster. A lot of coaches they got to start their staff from scratch. He did not have to do that. And I think that's beneficial. I think that will be beneficial in the
How do you
long run.
think Drake looks at this?
It's a
Or
business.
does it?
I think Drake's
Haters.
happy with. They got the same way South Dakota State looks at losing Eric Henderson to Drake. It's just a domino effect.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works. And I mean, I'm not guaranteeing this guy's going to carry on the Drake tradition, but this guy from South Dakota State comes pretty highly.
good coach.
Looks like a good hire. It
Yes,
looks like
he does.
another good hire. Now he's got to go out and do it, and what have you. So, but no, it's the same way Iowa. I mean, I remember when Justin Jacobs left Iowa to transfer to Oregon. Remember that one?
Yes.
Iowa fans were pissed. That's how it is. That's just, you kind of resent it, but that was a money thing.
It was.
And he did go out there and play, and he could have been good at Iowa, but linebacker has never been an issue.
I guess I can't ultimately. You can't fault
blame
the kid
anyone
for that, huh?
You can't blame anyone. And what's weird is I wrote a column the other day. My biggest concern about Iowa football right now is linebacker.
But you don't
Not
won't
quarterback.
say that very often.
Not quarterback, not receiver, is linebacker. I mean,
Well, we've been so good for so long.
But I'm still not. I still think there's a chance they're going to bring in a portal guy like they did Nick Jackson. Not knocking the guys they have. They've got, now that Van Ness has left, they've got 14 linebackers on the spring roster, but nobody has more than 21 tackles, and that's Carson Schar, and most of those tackles have been on the kickoff team. So, I mean, they are basically starting from the ground up. And now will be interesting to see. If they don't add anyone from the portal, that means they struck out. Or that they
Or
trust
they're happy
the guys.
with the guys they got.
And if they are happy with the guys they got, that says a lot because none of those guys have really done much in games to prove it. So it'll be interesting to see. But linebacker would be my number one concern right now on the Iowa football team. After that would be wide receiver. After that would be quarterback, just because quarterback's so important. But I think offensive line, running back, D-line, secondary, kicker, punter, I think they're going to be fine. And now they got a long snapper coming from Boston College. Linebacker would be my number one concern if I was listing concerns.
And we have a tough schedule.
Yes.
So
yes. Last year they did not take advantage of the schedule.
No, they didn't.
The way they needed to, but they were a mess at quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is accurate.
And like I said, I don't think they're going to be a mess at quarterback if they can keep Gronowski healthy. I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman, but God, if he could just throw for 2,000 and run for 500 and stay healthy, that would be
great.
incredible. And that's not asking a ton.
No, it's not.
So we'll see.
He left again.
He's gone again.
Yeah, but the coconut is for you.
Well, Hunter, you're taking the coconut home, aren't you?
Just remember to put the lime in it.
Would you? What if I took it and threw it through the plate glass window? Would you be mad?
Yes. Would you be
Through
mad?
this one?
No, the big one out there.
Would you be mad if I got in the car and tried to run you down before you got it in your car?
Well, I'd be more scared than mad. I'd be mad afterwards, assuming I got away. So what do we have as far as Iowa stuff this week? Of course, we got the Indiana St. Thomas baseball game tonight,
Yes.
Drake softball tonight, then Iowa 3-game series against Indiana baseball this weekend. Where's softball this weekend?
Softball this weekend at Michigan State, and of course, maybe one of the biggest events, Drake Relays.
Oh, and then of course the NFL draft. I gotta get something written on that today. The NFL draft starts tomorrow, and I think you're looking at Caleb Johnson, Luke Lachey, Sebastian Castro, Jay Higgins. I'm not sure they will all get drafted. Of course, Caleb Johnson's going to get drafted. I think Luke Lachey will get drafted. So Castro, I think, has got a chance to go 5th, 6th round. Who else? I'm not sure what Quinn Schulte's status is. I mean, I think if he wanted to be a free agent, he could definitely do that. And he's talked about going to dentistry school too. And I'm trying to think who else is out there. Oh, Jamari Harris is somebody else that will be impacted by this draft, and Mason Richmond. So yeah, I think you're going to see at least a couple.
Some Hawkeye.
I think there's going to be. I mean, it happens every year. I mean, It's just every year. It'll be interesting to see how high Caleb Johnson goes. To see,
His
40 time wasn't great at the combine. Was not great.
End of first, beginning of second.
I'd say a little lower than that.
A little lower.
A lot of running, but Austin Genty's going to go in the first round. I would be surprised if Caleb did. I've seen him anywhere from 2nd to the 4th round.
We've also got Heartlanders Thursday night, 7:05 puck drop, Game 5 against Fort Wayne. So,
but yeah, big
lots
series.
going on.
I'm not sure how good Michigan State is softball. If they're not, I don't know. Do you have their record?
I do. Michigan State is 4-12 in the conference, 14-25 overall.
They got to go and at least win that series.
Least.
At least win that. I can't believe we're saying this about Iowa softball, but they can't go and lose this series.
No.
That would be so deflating. They go in. Let's say at worst they go 2-1. Man, that would make them 12-7 in Big Ten. I mean, right now they're 10-6. They're in sixth place. They have a chance to make the NCAA tournament.
They do, and I sure hope they do.
But this is the kind of series you have to win this one. So good luck to softball and go from there. We done? We done,
Cap?
Sure.
You had enough?
We do want to thank Daniel Rogers.
Daniel Rogers from Iowa Baseball.
Yeah.
Sam, appreciate Iowa for helping to set that up. And yeah, we'll get we're going to get the head rowing coach on next week because they do have a big home event here on May 3rd. And can we assume that is out at the
Yes,
out at the res?
I would think so.
There's one spot that they've usually done these.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, we'll give them a little publicity and go from there. Because like you said, the last time we had somebody from the rowing team on, she was great. This head coach has got a lot to live up. Let him know that early. That he's got a lot to live up to as far as interview.
Okay, again, thanks Daniel Rogers. Tommy Lang, Captain Steve, next with police reports. Sure.
Hello.
Hey guys, you got a lot of pheasants around your place.
Well, you can't hunt them, Paul.
I know.
Well, I had my headphones off. What did Paul say?
Good to hear chirp.
We
There's
got
a lot of pheasants.
A lot of pheasants, yeah.
We do.
Yep. You ever had pheasant under glass?
I'm going to take that as a no.
He ignored my question.
Yeah, he didn't understand
I'll
your
give
question.
you credit, though, Captain. You let the silence fester for a while there. You were wondering what was going on. Do you think he didn't hear me, or you think he was basically saying, stupid question, I'm not answering that? Have you ever had pheasant
Could go
under glass?
either way. I don't know that it was under glass. I've had pheasant, I think, once or twice. It's too gamey.
Too game. But
yeah,
what are the
I don't need to
glass
play
crap
games
come
with
from?
my
What's
food.
the origin of pheasant under? Isn't
I
it?
don't know. I don't know. Is it really under glass?
Well, you've heard that phrase.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but I don't know that. How would you eat it?
Yeah,
you take the glass off.
But why is it under glass to begin with?
Because it's how it's served.
Why though?
Because it's presentation.
Hey, I'd like a steak, but I want it under glass.
Presentation. When you get into the really nice restaurants, presentation is king.
And little do you know, they're charging you $15 for that glass.
Yeah, probably.
All right, well, we're done.
Okay, police reports next. Captain Steve and Tommy Lang, HawkFanatic.com. Check it out; it's free.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you